Ref Show with Mark Halsey and Carlton Palmer this week. Let's look at the games in the Premier League on Sunday now. We'll come to Leicester City and the amazing story of their title. It was more than a title challenge. Look at their fans, it's almost a title certainty. I don't know whether you agree with that, Carl. But first of all, Man United against Everton, 1-0 win at Old Trafford. Ref Cam's verdicts on Andre Mariner was sort of okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, these games normally have sort of the fiery games, the referee many times, the intensity is normally there, but it was just lacking on Sunday. They just didn't seem, I don't know, it just didn't dead, wasn't it?
International break, a lot of the players were, you know, looked a bit leggy. Yeah, in a lot of games this week, and even the Leicester game, you saw the last 20 minutes. Yeah. You know, they've been away, they've played 2 games, a lot of travelling, and this is what happens.
There wasn't that intensity, was there, about this Premier League programme at the weekend, surprisingly? Mm. But you're saying it's down to the international break?
Yeah, I think so, just down to the players, just, you know, when they're travelling that much and then playing 2 games, you know, especially at this stage of the season, you know, it does play a part.
But to be fair to Andre, I mean, his recognition of foul, non-foul was excellent. You know, although his running style looks laboured, you know, his experience and his anticipation in play got him where he needed to be. So, as a referee, no one's talking about you, and that's what you're happy about. And on the whole, Andre done well.
And you did that on RefCam?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah.
I could tell that you were sort of saying it was a good, competent performance, but there was like a sort of a but there. But you've addressed it. So.
Yeah, I've addressed it. Yeah.
Leicester City and Southampton, 1-0 win. Can you believe it, Carlton? What you're saying?
Well, I can't. I mean, everybody's kept saying they're going to blow up. They're going to blow up. I mean, weekend, midweek, I was with the assistant manager, Craig Shakespeare, and he said they're just a good, honest bunch of lads. And you see, what they've done this season is they've had 2 centre-halves, and the boy Morgan was immense yesterday, right? And this is my argument when I'm talking about Matt Letizia. For every Matt Letizia, you need a Morgan or a Carlton Palmer. The Matt Letizias in this world can't play without the Morgans doing what he did yesterday. And they've got 2 centre-halves who edit and kick it, but what they do is when they get the ball, they try and retain it and play. And yesterday, I mean, I know people will say that the performance wasn't a great performance, but it's a performance that wins you the league title. Absolutely. You have to have 10 or 12 of them a season. They've won the last few games, 5-0.
4 in a row, 1-0.
1-0. And people are saying the title's not over yet. Well, I'm telling you now, how can you say the title's not over? Leicester haven't lost 2 games on the spin all season. They can afford to lose 2 and still win it by 1 point. Arsenal can only get 79 points. And Leicester on 69 already.
It's theirs to lose.
It's theirs, but you look at it now. Tottenham play Man United at home. Leicester go to Sunderland, which is not going to be an easy game. No, but it's a game, if you're going for a league title, that you'd rather be going to a place like that because they need the points. Those are the teams you want to play. I think they'll wrap this up with time to spare.
I'm just remembering, just before we bring Mark in, that Craig Shakespeare was a teammate of yours at Sheffield Wednesday all those years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, you know, Big Nige is my pal, and Shaky was my best friend and my next door neighbour. So I always stay in touch with Shaky and Nige when he was manager. But with Shaky, and I find out what's going on, and you know, I mean, they're not getting carried away, and of course, you can't get carried away because you know it's quite easy to end up in a bad run. But you're not gonna. What doesn't happen in football, though? You don't capitulate. And they won't capitulate.
Because of the characters in the team.
I mean, it's been a great, wonderful story. It's
great for
Leicester.
football.
But when you look at the money involved with the big 4, you've got your Chelsea, you've got your United, Liverpool, Manchester City. You know, the money they're spending on players. You look at Leicester, what's their wage bill? You know, look at their wage bill compared to all these other...
But it's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting you say that. But that was all started by Nige, because the first year Nige went in there, they give him a load of money, Nige, to spend, and he spent a lot of money. And he said the one thing I didn't have was a team. I didn't have a team spirit. And if you remember, at the end of the season, they whittled players out, got players out, and he went with good, honest players who would, and he got them fit. Because I'll tell you, that's the one thing I've looked at the Premier League. They are a lot fitter than the majority of sides in the Premier League.
And Nigel Pearson deserves a lot more credit than he's probably getting at the moment.
Well, to be fair to Ranieri and the boys and everybody, they've all said that this was started by Big Nige.
A couple of handball shouts, one in particular in this game on Mane. Early on, Mane's shot struck Danny Simpson. What's the verdict? Should it have been a penalty or not?
I'm going with Michael Oliver. I think that's a very tough decision. Brave decision not to give a penalty, because in previous meetings when I was on the list, we had the unwritten rule where we would give those. Yeah. But I think Michael's been very brave, and if you look at it, Danny's trying to get around, he's trying to cover, but you've got to use your arms to run. So for me, his arm's in a natural position. Okay, so he's not moved his arm towards the ball. And the other thing is, if it hadn't hit that arm, it'd have hit his body. Yeah. So it wasn't going into the goal anyway. And I think Michael's got that right.
I spot on, because you've got two things here. Yeah. If he gives the penalty, he's got to send him off, right? Now, if he gives the penalty, that would have been punishment enough. To send him off would have been harsh. As far as I'm concerned, I agree with Mark. I don't think he moves his arms. He's running and the ball strikes him. For me, no penalty. Brave decision and correct one.
Okay. Bliss for a referee, surely, is a one-sided game, a landslide win. And there were three of them on Saturday. Chelsea winning 4-0 at Aston Villa for Neil Swarbrick. Arsenal beating Watford 4-0 for Anthony Taylor. And Bobby Madley must have enjoyed Manchester City's stroll at Bournemouth 4-0 again.
As a referee, that's what you want. You don't want any controversy. I mean, I thought Neil picked up the good penalty for the holding offence. They're the ones you want to pick up. But I just want to see him a bit more decisive. He was unsure whether it was a red card or a yellow card. It was never going to be a red card, because he was never going to get there. There's doubt there whether he's going to get on the end of it. So I'd like to see Neil a bit more decisive and bring the yellow card out a lot earlier than he did, because he looked like he was unsure. He was asking his other colleagues, what was it? Was it a denial? Was it not a denial? It's like going back to Mark. You see it, you recognise it, and you deal with it straight away.
What about this for a great game at the bottom? Norwich's heart-stopping 3-2 victory over Newcastle. Most remarkable thing, Mike Dean was in charge of this. Massively high stakes. There wasn't a single card.
And
not a card.
Because it's about the referee, and Mike Dean is a top class referee, and the players have respect for him. Yeah. So once the players get that respect for you, it's easy, and it was a fabulous game. And for me, there was one defining moment in that game. Was the save by the Norwich goalkeeper. Yeah. And then they go down the other end and make it 3-2. What a save! What a save!
A couple of matches to round off with. One of them was at Wembley, the JP Trophy final. That was entertaining as well. Barnsley coming back to beat Oxford 3-2. Andy Woolmer was in charge of that, and Keith Hackett's made a point of hailing a terrific performance. He kept the game flowing and communicated well. That's all good to hear, isn't it?
Well, I'm not surprised, because he was there. His grandchildren are all Barnsley fans, so he's there. So that's why he's happy with the referee, because there was no controversy. He was on the phone to me after the game singing Barnsley. There we are. And there's a. But no, to be fair. But his grandchildren are Barnsley fans, so he has to toe the line. No, but going back to Andy Woolmer, very good experienced referee at that level. Got what he deserved. He's refereed very well over the years. Been full official to me many times. Great lad, and hopefully he's in for one of these places to be in the select group too as a professional referee. He's very fit. He's a postman, so everybody in that area gets their letters delivered early, because he's got to go training and got football matches. But no, it's pleasing to see that Andy Woolmer do well.
And we finish off with, should there be goal line technology in the Championship? Because this is a big league now, and the rewards are huge for getting promotion. And in Burnley's 2-2 draw, Burnley are the leaders, 2-2 draw at Brighton. They did came back at the end, but only after a goal was disallowed for Michael Keane. I think his header was over the line there. So that's a concern, isn't it? I think the replays clearly prove that it was over the line. Yeah,
it is. I mean, there's so much money in football now. I mean, the Championship is a massive league, isn't it? It's more watched than Serie A in Italy. Yeah. So and we're coming up now to the playoff situations. We're coming up to automatic promotion, and let's not forget the playoff final is the biggest, richest game in football. Yeah. And here we've got Championship games. We've got teams vying to finish in automatic promotion playing positions. And we've not got goal line technology. Now, it'd be interesting to see if they have it at Wembley for the playoff final.
I was going to ask you.
Now, I'm not sure how that's going to work with the Football League. Well, really, to be consistent, they shouldn't have it. They shouldn't have it. They've not got it in the league season, so why have it in the richest game of the season?
I'm sure that's the case, because otherwise it's breaking the rules of the competition.
Of course it is, and for me, we've got professional.
You'd want it, wouldn't you?
Well, I agree with Mark. I mean, the money that's in football now, it should be in all leagues. It should be in all leagues.
Yeah, there's enough money, isn't there, Mark,
let's not forget League 1 and 2. That's just as important as the Championship and the Premier League. That's just important. Let's make that clear.
Okay, guys, thanks very much indeed. Mark Halsey, Carlton Palmer, thanks to you. Keep your points rolling and all the emails coming in to youartheref.com, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye now. Bye.